Hey, if you're like most golfers, you might be wondering, are PuttView books worth the money? Are these yardage books really going to help you play better? Today, we're going to review these books, the different ones that they offer. As you can tell, they're color-coded. They have different features, different price points, plus just kind of the benefits of using a yardage book. Hey, welcome back to Wicked Smart Golf again. My name is Michael Leonard. I'm a +2 handicap and an avid tournament golfer. As you can tell from my bin of yardage books, I take this game pretty seriously, and I just want to use different books and resources like this to make the game easier. But before getting into all things PuttView and yardage books, if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe channel so you can play better without changing your swing. But as you can tell, we got a lot of different yardage books that you can choose from. So for example, like some pro shops are gonna have these. These are just like a black and white one, real generic, costs like $5. Then you have ones that are gonna be more of the tour versions. These ones have a lot more kind of slope and different features there. These are gonna be really advanced. You got ones that are just focused on green reading. So this ones are just gonna be the greens. And of course you have the ones like PuttView, which are a combination of both the fairways, the greens, and honestly a lot more, including the slopes. A yardage book is really like a blueprint for the golf course. It's just gonna make the game easier. As you guys know, golf is tough and there's a lot of things we can't control, but one thing you can control is your ability to game plan and make better decisions on the golf course. Whether you use a golf GPS, a rangefinder, and or a yardage book, you gotta have better information so that way you can make better decisions. There's nothing worse than thinking you hit a perfect shot only to end up going in a hazard or bunker that you might not have been able to see from the tee. There are three big benefits to using a yardage book. First off, is it's going to allow you to make a game plan for the hole. There's nothing worse than playing a golf course for the first time or playing it blind and you just feel like you have no idea where you're supposed to aim, what you should be doing. It leads to a lot of uncommitted swings. So they're going to help create a game plan and going to be able to stand over the shot with confidence. Second thing is going to help you avoid hazards and trouble that you're going to see up there. Maybe you're playing a blind shot, maybe you hit a perfect drive and then it ends up in the fairway bunker or something. Nothing worse than that. But again, a yardage book is going to make sure you're very clear about what the distance is from different tee boxes as well. So that way you can create a game plan on the tee and use the right club to avoid those hazards. And finally, a lot of the books help you actually read the greens. They're going to show you the slopes of it, where it's going to run off if you miss the green, and actually how putts are going to break. Ultimately, yardage books like the ones from PuttView here are going to make the game easier. And if you're someone that plays a lot of tournament golf like myself, we want to make sure we have all the necessary things we can to play our best golf. Because if you're entering into tournaments, clearly you're a good player, you want to play your best, and you want to make sure that you have a chance to win every single time you go out. Yardage books are great too because of course you can take notes in them from previous years or previous events you might have played there, maybe what club you hit, what wind direction, where you want to avoid, and what side of the fairway you might want to be on. Before getting into the different types of yardage books, have you ever used one? Let me know down in the comments below. As you can tell from the bin here, I've tried out pretty much every type of yardage book. But honestly, I can say hands down that PuttView is my all-time favorite. So the first reason I love these books is that there's 30,000 courses around the world. So you're really not gonna have an issue of finding it. I think in my 4+ years of using them, I've only had one site where I actually couldn't find a book for it. But otherwise, they always have them. Plus, as you're gonna learn, they have different versions as well. The second reason I really like these books is that they include a whole overview in a way that a lot of other books simply don't. For example, Golf Logics has their own version, but it's much more minimal and honestly just doesn't have as much data. So like when you look at it here, and I'll zoom in too, you know, there's just not that much information on the actual hole. They just have kind of the 100, 125, 150, 200. It's just not nearly as much. But with PuttView, when you go in here, you can actually see the distances, how far you hit it, and then what you're gonna have in. You're gonna be able to see distances to the fairway bunkers, how wide fairways are, and then there's a whole lot of green reading information as well. The third reason I like these books is that they have 3 different ones. So you don't have to spend $50 on this one if you don't want. The first one is a yardage only. These ones are $29, but they still provide tons of information. So as you can tell here, you're not going to have any of the green information or the slopes, but you're going to be able to easily map out your tee shot strategy and what's up there. And obviously there's a lot of room to log notes. 29 bucks, it's a great deal. $39 one is going to include major slopes. These are the orange ones. And you'll see on these ones, again, very detailed throughout, but then when you get to an actual green, they're gonna show you major slopes. They're not gonna include everything, but it's just gonna be more beneficial to help you kind of understand how a green might break or where you should be avoiding, or if you're chipping around the greens, it can also help. The $49 ones are the ones I usually buy just because they have everything you need. So as you can tell here, they have 2 different ways, topographical maps to help you read the greens. So for example, most tournaments are gonna give you a yardage sheet. So for if For this pin, for example, it says it's 7 on, 16 from the left. You go up here, you go 7 on, 16 from the left, and you can actually kind of imagine where the pin's gonna be, and then it's gonna help you read the putt. Big question too, a lot of golfers have is, are they legal? Yes, tournament books are legal. The PGA Tour and professional golf has a little bit different now. They're having like kind of one set yardage book they have to use, but for amateur golfers, you can use any type of yardage book out there. You can use rangefinders as long as they don't have slope on. But yardage books are just a great way to log a lot of information in your practice rounds that you're playing and put them in there so that way you can discuss kind of how wide fairways are, maybe if there's elevation, what club you hit, and it's just a great way to keep everything in one place. Don't make golf harder by not having yardage books. While you can buy the $5 or $10 generic ones in the pro shop, they're just not going to include as much. Don't get me wrong, they are better than nothing, but if you had to choose, I think PuttView is by far the best. They ship super fast, they get there, you have 3 different price points, and again, it just has the most information to make golf a little bit easier. Now, when you do buy your yardage book, make sure you get a yardage book holder. This one, again, is just gonna slip right in. That way you keep it in your back pocket, but it's just a great way to ensure it's gonna last a long time. At $50 a price point, obviously you don't wanna buy these every single tournament if you're playing the same course over and over again, but when you buy a yardage book holder like this one, where you can get it customized with your favorite logo or name on it, it's just gonna allow it to last a lot longer. PuttView is also great because they do use waterproof paper, and I have spilt on it accidentally, and it do last a lot longer than some of the other ones. But again, buy one of these, that way you're gonna protect your investment, and hopefully you get your own golf bin of yardage books. To grab your own PuttView yardage books, click the link down below. Start investing in yardage books today so you can start playing wicked smart golf.